Hello, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising. It is time for your year ahead reading. Let's start off with a little bit of astrology first. Now, with an Aquarius Rising, that means your Sun is also most likely in the first house. That is the house of the self. And your rising is how other people view you or what you choose to share with the world around you, the parts that you reveal to others. So you may be somebody seen as somebody, and you may be somebody who's comfortable being a little bit rebellious, somebody who doesn't fit into the norm, somebody who is always thinking ahead and also in your head a lot. You've come off as very confident, or you can be, until you learn differently, until you discover new facts. You may be fixed and very stubborn on a position, but that at the same time, you have these ideals about humanity and improving things and helping everybody live a better life, live up to their potential as a human. You may also sometimes, until you grow older or gain more experience or just evolve as a person, come off as arrogant instead of confident. So until you get past that stage where you're able to temper yourself a little bit, not in a negative way, but where you recognize that you don't, what is the difference between the arrogance and versus just being confident and being who you are and inspiring that same confidence from others in you. um, it's the being right at all, just insisting that your way is the right way. So you open up a little bit more to the opinions of others. You're confident about your position, but you're not putting your position on others. That's how I would describe it. So a little bit different, a little bit quirky, out there about humanity, or would like to improve humanity overall. And somebody who has a very engaging personality. There's a lightness about you. And people around you, they enjoy their conversations with you. You can be very intellectual and provide a lot of in-depth information. You can have researched some subjects like all the way. You're always looking for that information, and you're willing to share what you find with others, which is really, really encouraging and helpful to those around you. But you always feel maybe a little bit like you're just a step ahead of everybody else. So you're leading the way for some people on how to better themselves. That's the vibe I'm getting. Now, let's do your reading, your cards for this year ahead. When I read the cards in these 12-month readings, I just label them 1 through 12. So that's not going to line up exactly with the months for you because your first month is February of 2025 for this reading. But that will be card 1 for you. So keep that in mind as I'm going through these. So here we have card 1, or month 1 for you, which is actually February 2025. Then we have card 2, card 3, card 4, card 5, and card 6. And then we'll move down to card 7, card 8, card 9, 10, 11, and 12, which will be January of 2026. And then a card from the back of the deck for extra energy or a theme for the year. We'll see what it is once we get to it. Now, one of the things I'm doing, or I do when I first look at a big spread here, is look for how many major arcana cards are. Because major arcanas indicate a shift in our beliefs and who we are as a person, how we react to something. It changes us in some way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 1 year. So there are some significant shifts in how you view a situation or somebody, or some changes that you're making that impact your life going forward. You're a slightly different person each time one of these happens. There is definite growth and evolution as you're moving throughout this year, especially these first 6 months where you have 3 cards, especially these first 2 months, but we'll get into that. Now, the card you have on the back of your deck is the 5 of Swords. So 5s indicate challenges or changes or some sort of a test from the universe to see if you're really ready to evolve, if you're really ready to move up or onto the next level. Swords are an air element. You have all that air in your chart with both your rising and your sun in that first house. So swords are about communication, information, our beliefs, our ideas, studies. Five of Swords is telling you, and maybe that's why we referenced it a little bit in the astrology portion, but this is telling you to beware of wanting to win the argument at all cost, because you will lose something by winning it. You will either lose that connection with that person because they're just not going to want to argue with you anymore. So they may just slowly remove themselves from your life. And this feels like somebody you don't want to have that happen. You enjoy the conversations, you enjoy the challenging conversations you have with this person. But if you insist on always trying to one up them in some way, or always being very fixed in your argument and insisting that they see things their way, your way, even though their experiences in life have been different, so their opinion is going to be different. You're both human beings at the end of the day with different experiences and different expectations of the world around you. So if you just keep trying to hammer on them that your opinion, your idea, what you're saying is the right thing, period, and there's no room in there for any wiggle room or argument, so why are they even bothering? They'll stop bothering. They will remove themselves from your life. So be aware of that. Sometimes it's not worth the cost. And sometimes you need to find some piece of common ground where both parties can just agree to disagree, knowing that you both have the best intentions for whatever this is that you're arguing about. Both of you want to help somebody or do something in some way. This argument is probably about ways that we can change the world, maybe. So you both want to improve the lives of everybody. You just have different ideas about how to do it. Don't be so fixated on thinking that your way is the right way or the only way. You have to allow room for other opinions and other solutions in there. You have to acknowledge them. They are, in fact, good ideas. They're not the same ones that you have. That does not make that does not mean they are wrong, and it does not mean that you are wrong. They're just different ideas, and that's okay. So try to keep it more of a philosophical or discussion of solutions instead of an argument about which solution is the right solution, because one solution does not fit all. Okay, so I'll keep that over here in case it pops up again as we're going through each month. Now, we're starting up here, month 1 for you, which again is February of 2025, with the Temperance card, right off the bat with 2 major arcana cards in a row. But in February, we have Temperance. Temperance kind of aligns with the message that comes with the 5 of Swords. Temperance is about balance. It's about avoiding extremes, avoiding excess. So because this is a major arcana card, maybe there's a choice or a decision you have this month to temper your energy, temper your experiences, temper your plans in some way. If you have planned to go out drinking every Thursday and Friday night for the month of February, maybe you need to dial that down a little bit and give yourself time to maybe do something else that energizes you, such as working on a problem, on solving a problem. I think you like solving problems. So coming up with ways to handle some other problems to help people out, or maybe it has to do with work in some way on half of those nights if it is a Thursday and a Friday, to try and balance that out. It's also going to cause your body energetically to just break down and reach a certain level of exhaustion if you keep up that momentum that you have going there. Now, this does not necessarily have to just do with going out drinking. This could be excess exercising, which could be too much for you at this time. So you need to pay attention to what your body is telling you and pull back when you need to. Otherwise, you're going to get to the point where you injure yourself and now you won't be able to do any of the exercising for a while. So you want to be able to maintain a routine and respect and honor, or at least take care of your body as you're going through these physical changes that you're working through. This could also have to do with a career. If you're so focused on finding your next job that you're not paying attention to your current job, you may lose the current job before you're ready to go to the next job. So balance that energy out. Pay attention to what you're spending it on and budget accordingly here in the month of February. It's important for you to not run yourself ragged, so ragged that you can't become unresponsive or you can't meet your obligations or take care of the things that you need to take care of in a way that you want to. Don't run yourself down here in month 2. And I think that this is month, because it's a major arcana card, the recognition that you need to do that, that you are responsible for how you're spending your energy. There's a level of maturity that comes with recognizing that and acting on it. Could just be the recognizing it first, but once you start acting on it, it's a feeling of, I want to say maturity, but taking ownership of your energy expenditures, if you will, which makes you a little bit more confident about your life. Because these are choices that you're making. This is your life. You own whatever decisions you make here, so make them wisely. And then in month 2, oh, I see, okay. And then in month 2, which for you is March, we have the Emperor. The Emperor is like the father of the tarot deck. The Emperor is in charge of everything. They know what's going on. This is their life. They own everything in it. And they can set whatever boundaries and rules for interacting with them that they want. Which means you also have that power to set your boundaries on what you will and won't accept. The thing is, when you're setting boundaries, you also have to respect those boundaries. They're your boundaries. You're putting them in place for a reason. If you keep crossing them, it's just going to confuse things, and people will cross them with you. So this, again, if we're looking at what the message is here for month 1, in month 2, perhaps part of your solution for maintaining and respecting your energetic needs or spending your energy, period, is to set up boundaries around when you're going to do things. So only on X 1 or 2 nights a month or whatever it is for you that works out or makes sense, I will do this. We can meet up for that. And then work hours are work hours, and I only focus on my tasks at hand and I'm present at work. That's a boundary. I don't let myself get distracted there. For exercising or for taking care of yourself, for being more healthy, I walk 3 days a week, or I do, what is it? Aerobics of some type. There we go. 3 days a week, or maybe it's just 2 days a week. And I assess where I am physically at the end of each of those. If the day after, maybe I need to give myself a break between things to let my body recover before I do the next thing. But it's recognizing what your physical boundaries are in addition to just energetic boundaries in this case. So boundaries are going to be the key. These are your boundaries. You set them up, but you also need to respect them. And that's going to, after a little bit, once you get used to those and you start following that and it feels more routine for you, because I think you would like that, it's easier. Life is just a little bit easier. And when you have your downtime, even if it's scheduled downtime, even in the middle of exercise, you can focus on bigger problems and come up with solutions. And then you have time set aside where you can really work on that and figure it out or write about it or look at more or whatever it is your hobby might be. You can focus on that with all of your attention instead of getting distracted by work or other extracurricular activities that you may be interested in. So that's your biggest thing here in month 2. In month 3, we have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is a feeling of, it's about feelings, it's about emotions. Cups are a water element. There's this feeling of satisfaction about what it is, how you're handling life, your progress you've made so far, your accomplishments, of the person you're becoming. So give yourself the permission to feel that pride in accomplishment, to maybe show off a little bit, to share that sense of pride of accomplishment with your best friends or those who are closest to you. And celebrate that. Let yourself celebrate feeling good about what you're doing. Let yourself feel good about what you've accomplished and about where you're going and what your dreams are. You are deserving of that. And yes, it is feelings, but this is all inside you. You don't have to share with anybody. Just feel it. Just let yourself feel it. Just enjoy. And let yourself celebrate who you are and who you're becoming. And then in month 4, we have the Knight of Coins. Now, court cards in general can indicate other people. So this is a month where your interaction with somebody is going to influence you most. And that's also usually one of the things I do at the beginning of a reading is look at how many court cards we have. And you have 3 of them. So 3 months where your life is impacted by somebody else, or where that month is focused on a lot or a significant event with somebody else. So knights, in general, my easiest way I can explain them is they've just graduated college, they have that degree in hand, and now they're trying to get out there and get experience to learn how to really use that information that they've learned. Coins are an earth element, and the Knight of Coins in particular is the slowest moving knight in the deck. They take their time. They're not in any kind of rush to get things done. They want to make sure they do things right. So they're going to be very thorough as they're testing certain actions. Okay, so step 1 says to do this. We're going to do exactly as step 1 said. Did that work? Is step 1 correct that this should be right? If it did not work as it was written, they're going to want to figure out how do they make it work. And then, and only then, once they figured out step 1, will they go to step 2. And then they will repeat the same process. It can be frustrating, probably especially to you, but they're going to do it in their own time. This is not somebody you can rush. So if it's something you want to get done soon, you need to, 1, set a deadline with them. And then don't bug them along the way. Let them do their process. Maybe ask for an update every X number of days. So you know they are actually making progress, but where you're not hovering, which is just going to slow them down more because they need to focus. So it feels like this is somebody who's going to be doing a task for you, something for you. You would like it done ASAP. They're going to get it done in the time that they get it done. You're going to have to figure out how to manage your energy through that. Distract yourself with other things. Focus on your work, on what you're doing now. And try not to check in. Try not to micromanage it. There we go. If you micromanage this person, things will never get done because they're always going to stop to answer your questions that you ask before they then go back to focus on it. It's like they can do one thing at a time or focus on one thing at a time, and each time you interrupt them, that stops the timeline for the other thing that you want them to do. So keep that in mind when you're working with this person who you think is very, very slow. Thing is, they're really good because they do figure it out. They come up with really solid solutions that will last for some time, but it takes them time to do it. So let them percolate in the background. Let that brew. And then just make sure they're keeping that delivery date in mind and staying on target for that. And then in month 5, we have the Hermit, another major arcana card. This is a month where you're kind of a little more reserved. Maybe you're staying in more this month in particular. Maybe your energy is feeling a little bit low, or you're just really focused on what is it you really want to do? What is it you really want to get out of life right now? The Hermit is about hermiting, essentially. And the purpose of the hermiting is to figure out where your light shines brightest. Is it doing the work you're doing now? Or if you could do volunteer work, does that light you up? Does that get you more excited? Is your light feeling dim right now? And why? Why would it be feeling dim now, right now? What are you doing that you don't really enjoy doing? And is there an alternative that you could do? Can you come up with a plan that makes you feel a little bit lighter and more excited about life in general? It's a card of self-discovery. and taking the time to do that self-discovery. So journaling on it, recording yourself talking through kind of these little sessions, little timeouts that you find yourself in, can help you, especially if you listen back to them, understand exactly what it is you want to do, or where you want to, what you want to plan for in the future, what it is you might want to adjust going forward, so that you feel like you're on the right track. Yes, back again with the feelings. So once you feel like you're on the right track, then you can get into the thinking and the planning on, okay, so how do we keep going down this route? How do we make this part of our life permanently? How do we grow this piece of things? But month 5 is about that self-discovery. In month 6, we have the 6 of Wands. Wands are a fire element, and the 6 of Wands in particular is a victory card. It is a victory card. So if you think of the fire element, it is bold, it is passionate about what they're doing. They will chase after the dream. They are excited about it. They don't necessarily worry about failure. They just need to do. They'll rush in first and clear the path for others to follow. And this is a card of victory. So you have done something that nobody else has been able to do, or you have broken a barrier that now others can follow you through that path. But people are inspired by whatever it is you hear you did. They are excited about it. They are very encouraging. They're congratulating you. You're getting the accolades. Don't shy away from that. Show people what you did. Show them so that they can do the same. And enjoy this moment. Enjoy this recognition. Celebrate with them. With them. Because this was a big moment. So maybe you're the first in the family to buy a home, or maybe you're the first in the family to get a degree, or maybe you're the first in the family to do something to prove that we don't have to stay where we're at now just because that's the way our family has always done this. You've shown them a new way. You are becoming the light that they can follow. That's what I'm feeling for you in this card. So this is a month where you're gaining that recognition, where there's a definitive victory in the steps forward that you're making, where you're trotting that path so that they can follow. That's the strongest feeling I have from this. As you're at the lead here, breaking through the forest, clearing that pathway for others to also follow you and making it easier for them. You're doing the hard work so everybody can prosper. And that's what I have for you in month 6. In month 7, we have another court card. This time it's the Queen of Swords. This could very well be you, actually. Swords, air element. You are heavy on the air element. Queen is feminine energy, a little bit more receptive than a king would be, where they're more outgoing. She's more receptive. It's definitely that feminine, softer, nurturing energy. However, it is still swords. Swords are not all about the emotions or displays of emotions, PDAs, any of that. They want the logic. They want to be solving problems. They want the facts, the figures. They want to have a plan. Very practical, driven energy. Now, she's not going to be because it's feminine energy, it's not going to be as harsh of a messaging necessarily as a king might be. But they're going to be very matter of fact about delivering it. They're not going to let their emotions get in the way of a solution if it works. So this could be somebody that you're working with on planning something, or they're helping you with some planning and figuring out maybe what the budget needs to be and how this could be accomplished. So it could be a life planner. It could be a financial coach. It could be a career counseling of some type. Something where it's more practical. Financial planning for sure feels like it could be in there, or even estate planning. But they'll help you come up with that plan and put it in place and get it kicked off. And then it's your responsibility to take the actions after that, to carry it through. And then here in month 8, we have the Wheel of Fortune, another major arcana card. Wheel of Fortune is literally about change, fortunes changing. So this could be a month where maybe you're getting a new job and you're just onboarding this month. That wheel is moving. I don't know why that was the strongest piece that came through. Maybe it has to do with this plan that you came up with, or whatever this solution is that this person helped you with in month 7. Maybe this is the month that you're implementing that. You're taking the steps to evolve your life, to make changes in your life. And as long as you're not fighting yourself over those changes, if you're not doubting yourself, things will go smoothly. But if you have doubts and you have fears and you're hesitating or procrastinating, it's going to be choppy waters because you're resisting. And the change needs to happen. You can be a participant in that change, or it can change in spite of you, which again just makes it energetically difficult. So try to go with that flow, fully participate in that change that you want to make, that you have planned to make. Let it happen. Let it roll. And enjoy that ride. That's what your start is here. Starting down this new path for you in month 8. In month 9, okay, that makes sense. In month 9, we have the next major arcana card, which is the Hanged Man, right after the wheel. Now, the Hanged Man is about a pause. This is a month where you just you don't make any big decisions. You just let things play out. You take more of an observer role than anything else. So, for example, this has to do with investment. So, let's say you came up with an investment plan here in month 7. You put it in place. You fully put it in place. You implemented that plan here in month 8. Here in month 9, you're just letting things go. You're maybe watching the accounts to see how things are moving, but you are not making any changes. You're just maybe taking notes. You could be doing that, but you're not starting any new investments. You're just letting what you started do what it does so that you can learn from it. And this is you doing this with intention, because you do need to learn about how this works, and you need to learn to sometimes just let it ride. Sometimes that's just what you need to do, and that may be one of the lessons you need to learn here in life in general, is to just let it ride. So this is a month where you are, again, not starting any new things, not necessarily even ending anything, just letting things ride, observing them, studying the outcomes, things like that. But you are not actively involved in anything. Just let it all play out. And then in month 10, we have the Knight of Wands, another Knight card. This time in Wands, that fire energy. So when this person gets that degree, let's say, and they want to gain that experience, they're just going out and they're trying this. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try it this way. Nope, that didn't work. Let's go this way. And they will just keep pursuing until they succeed. So they may fail a lot of the ways along the way. They might not necessarily change their method like a coin might do. They'll just keep going until they're forced to change, until they hit that roadblock and they have to reevaluate. But then they're just going to all in again. That's the vibe we have with the Knight of Wands. That bold energy, very active energy. So this is somebody who maybe can't sit still. Maybe they drive you a little nuts because they're a little all over the place. That could be it. Maybe it's a mutable sign that you're working with here. But they're very enthusiastic. They're not worried about the failures. Failures are just part of their life, and they're okay with that. That just means to them that it wasn't meant for them. So they try the next thing until they find the thing that works and, in their words, maybe was meant for them. So what am I feeling here for you as to relations with this person, or this type of energy anyway, here in month 10? I don't know if this is a friend of yours or a recent coworker of some type. It feels more like it might be a friend of yours. And you just shake your head and let them do what they're going to do. Maybe you try to provide some guidance, some logic in there to let them know that's not going to work that way. I don't know how you keep doing this, but it's their just pure life force that they're working with. So all you can do is be inspired by their willingness to take these chances, their willingness to fail, and their willingness to brush that off, get up and try again. And maybe that's what they're doing this month, is just inspiring you to keep going, to keep pushing forward. Even if you're wrong about something, Aquarius. Even if you might be wrong. You don't give up on the person you're talking with or having the argument with. You just agree to disagree at this time, or recognize, okay, maybe this time I was wrong, but next time I won't be. And that might be what you guys look forward to doing, is having those arguments, but still keeping it friendly and not intentionally hurtful or not freezing people out. So that could be what this is. And maybe this is where this person, if this is a friend of yours, maybe that's where this Five of Swords really comes in, is your interactions with this person, especially here in month 10, is trying not to win the argument at all costs. Just recognize you're both coming from different places. You both have different energy and different drives. So the way you think something should be done will be different from the way they think it should be done. And that's okay. Neither one of them is wrong. You're just going to disagree on how you think it should be done, and then move on to the next topic or the next thing. But don't shut each other out and don't freeze each other out, because I think you're good for each other, really good for each other. And then in month 11, we have the Four of Wands. So still in that fire energy, that passionate energy. This time with the four, this could indicate something like a wedding that's occurring this month. Maybe you're attending a wedding, maybe you're participating in some way. But this is, it's not always necessarily a wedding. It could be something like a graduation, where you're bringing that school life and family life together to celebrate this accomplishment in this person's life. So it's bringing two different communities together to celebrate, to create something new, to establish connections that will last into the future, which is something like a marriage or an engagement can do. Well, technically, the marriage is what does it, right? That's the lawfully binding thing. But this could also be two different communities coming together. Maybe they've created a park between the two communities that benefits both of them, and this is the grand opening of that park. So along those lines, but it is definitely a time of celebration, of community, and just enjoying the company of others and getting to know each other and celebrating success and celebrating love between two people, and just love among humans in general, that causes us to always try to improve our lives. So that for you is what month 11 is like. Very celebratory. Okay, and I think this is December for you too, so that makes sense too. It could be maybe you're hosting Christmas for the first time after your own either marriage or moving in with your partner. So you're having each of your families over together and creating those connections, establishing that. Very nice. And then to end your year, we have the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands is saying, stand your ground. There's going to be a lot of people wanting you to do things for them, wanting you to get the things that they want you to do done, trying to put their priorities on your plate. And you're going to have to say no. This is where you're really going to have to leverage these boundaries you have and maybe set some new ones or refresh them in order to maintain your space and maintain your schedule, so that you can focus on the things that you want to put first, which is what you should be doing here in this month. It's taking care of your stuff, getting your stuff done before you choose who you want to help next. Don't agree to do everything. Focus on your stuff first. Focus on your desires, your happiness first. And then assess what each person wants you to help them with, Don't just do it for them. Lend assistance, but make them actually do it. And then some you may say no to. You can handle it. You don't need my help. Some just maybe they just need that encouragement. Others you'll have to say, well, I can guide you to where you want to go, but you're going to have to actually do it. But stand your ground and don't be drawn into any drama or anything like that. That puts the responsibility on you instead of the people that should be responsible. And okay, that is what I have for you, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, for your year ahead. Please hit that like button. Please share this with others. Please comment below if this resonated with you or not, and because the YouTube algorithm likes that. Please subscribe to help me grow my channel. And thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.